Hi, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right, the subject for today is really cool. It's kind of different. You know, my philosophy is if it's the same, it's kind of boring. So let's figure out another option in a way. Go ahead with your bad self. Okay, the thing is, the question is this is about the selling fitted in your budget technique. Or closed. If we can fit it in your budget technique, this is a close, okay, guys? This is serious. This is something that a lot of times people, they want to buy something, and we're supposed to be persuasive because we are what they call salespeople, and we've been studying the product. And if a customer, you know, most customers, if you're afraid to sell to them, it's probably because you don't know this. But really, hey, if you start even the first day and you know a little bit about your product, you know more than that customer does, period. The reason being is because you're offering, you're giving their services, and what you're trying to do is make sure they can afford and buy what you're trying to sell. Listen, the technique, again, is let me see if I can help you fit it in your budget. What? Help them fit it in their budget? What do you mean? You want them to go ahead and be able to afford it? Yeah, it's that simple. Goodness gracious, we make it so difficult sometimes. We want to sell the stars, blah, blah, all the blah, blah, the big stuff. Well, look, there's low-hanging fruit. You should shoot for the doggone stars, but if you land on the moon, you done real good. Literally, if you can fit a purchase in someone's budget and you can help create a value and in their own mind be able to see owning it and see it in their homes or in their life or in their whatever. It's just really a good feeling. Clients want to own stuff. They want to buy stuff. They just don't want you to try to sell them stuff. And that's a technique of its own. You have to have a basic conversation, and that's what we're doing right now. Listen, if you can have a conversation with a customer and simply like this and say, look, if I can fit it in your budget, do you think that would work for you? They're not going to say no. They're not going to say, heck no, it's going to fit in my budget. I think I'll go ahead and get it. Really. It's not that simple. But in reality, if you can have a conversation, you want to tell them some features, some benefits about your particular product, then you're going to ask for the order. Does that make sense? Did you think this would work in your budget? And they'll say, well, I hadn't thought about that. Well, what is my budget? Sometimes you got to have at least options. And if you're selling a product, you need to have a 1, 2, and 3, good, better, and best products. So that way they have a choice. And in the matter, when you're trying to close a sale, it makes sense to have extra tools to be able to work as ammunition to help the client invest in what you're trying to sell. You know, if you can fit it in their budget, a simple question is you know that you can go with this particular one and it's $149. Doesn't that sound good? And they'll go, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating and they really want to buy something, but you kind of overpriced, overshot. But if you don't go for the stars and, you know, you done messed up. So the next step is in this regard, if we can fit it in your budget, remember, it's important to fit it in anybody's budget. They want to buy stuff. So you just ask a simple question. Between these three, this one's $59.99, this one's $17.99, and this was $100. And this is the feature for this one, this is the benefit for this one, and this one really has a lot of benefits. Between these three, which one do you think would work and fit best in your budget? Be quiet. Because the first person who answers loses. They want to buy something, but you're giving it to them, giving them the option. You're giving them power to be able to be a part of the process, your selling process. If they have an inclination where they want to invest in something, they want to buy something, it behooves you to help them get it. And another thing, you got to ask for the order. You got to have your presentation. And when you're new in sales, it's a learning curve. It really is. I don't care if you go to a new company. You've got to learn. Now, if you're an earner and you want to be someone who wants to make a lot of money in a company, you got to be coachable. And they look for you to be that type of person in selling. You know, if you can fit it in the customer's budget, they will appreciate it. Now, look, we're not just trying to sell something one time. They may have friends. They may have family members. They are what they call a referral system. This is an opportunity to put your best foot forward. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley. We're just having a very, very simple conversation about being able to fit it in the customer's budget. Look at your own life. You got bills, you got things, you got money coming, you got it going. So you have to be realistic. Write down your bills. Guys, I mean, you need to tell your customers if they've got a budget list, let's look at what they've got to spend. Sometimes you got to be very creative because sometimes clients only have a little bit of money. And if you can help them see that they're going to get a whole lot more value for that little bit of money, that's a good deal for them. And always remind them if they say, oh, you're going to get paid commission. Yes, I do. But listen, you get to keep the merchandise. You get to keep this opportunity. And believe me, it's a little bit for me, but it's a real benefit for you. And you have to be always, offering. You have to be selling, guys. This is an always continuation. Everywhere you go, people are selling a good attitude or a bad attitude. And we should smile like my friend here, Gary Lee Stanley. That's me. And remember, you're going to run into situations where it's not going to fit in the client's budget. But listen, if they're true buyers and if you hit that spark in them and you can actually hear that they're saying, oh, okay, just ask for the order. So the $39.99 would be best for you. Oh, okay. And then write it up. Listen. You don't dwell on something, and then you move on to something else. You start talking about by the way, what y'all got going on this weekend? Are y'all planning on going to go see the fair, the circus, blah, blah, blah. What you've done is you've fit something in their budget. The customer will really appreciate it. And remember, don't take advantage of your customer. We're here to make the customer's experience a great buying experience, because remember, your reputation is everything. You hear me? Your reputation is everything. I've seen great companies that were in business for 100 years, 50 years, 60, and because they lost their identity, they closed doors. And I had to be a part of that, and I had to transition, but I was what you call a real person who wanted to be a salesperson. And you're probably that same person, and you are important and you matter. I say it in all my videos. People, this is your choice. Sometimes we get in sales and we don't know that, hey, we're real young, that this is going to be my future. Or you're older and it's like, well, man, I think I can sell something. Selling is a state of mind. Always thinking in your mind that, hey, I want to help somebody. Because like Zig Ziglar said, the more people you help, then you get benefited. And it's not verbatim, but the more people you bless, believe it, it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, it's a numbers game. If you want to sell something, it's a numbers game. And listen, we're always continuously evolving. And if you're green, you're growing. If you're ripe, you're rotten. And I don't want to be that guy. And I know you don't either. So remember this. If we can fit it in their budget, don't try to take advantage and try to steal all their money. Don't try to take all their money, because, see, it's in their budget that matters. My goodness, would you want them to, if you sold them something, they had to return it because they couldn't afford it, or maybe they couldn't pay on it, so you might have got paid, but then your company had to deal with the financing and all the problems that go along with the customer not being able to pay their bill. Or if you have a lapse policy, dude, you got to start that person over. Now they got a bad taste in their mouth for the next person who's wanting to buy something, insurance, or anything of that nature. Listen, fitting things in people's budgets makes sense. This is a technique. We just had a very simple conversation about why selling, and fitting the purchase in the customer's budget makes sense. It's dollars and cents, man, because you get paid. Oh my gosh. And if they come back and see you, or if you call them again and they set up another, oh my gosh, it's a continuation and a continuation of continuation. Are you here for the one-time sale? Are you here for the long haul, which could be residuals for many, many years? And what is residuals? That means money that can put money and more money back in your pocket from something that you did a long time ago. Residual. Okay, that's really good. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley, and I'm excited that we had this conversation. Remember, fitting it in a client's budget. Today, when you look at your budget, think about when you do your purchasing. You've got a creative value. And remember, if you can fit it in their budget, This is just another tool that you can use and a verbal agreement with the customer. And by the way, if I can help you fit it in your budget today, did you want to go ahead and go with that? And write it up. If they say, yeah, you're done real good. So do me a favor, go out there and sell something and have a great day. Bye-bye. And it's really important. Let's fit it in their budget. Sell something. Bye-bye.